Good morning. Yvonne Penny here with Cafecito and West Side Stories. Earlier this summer, I had an interview with Leticia Vasquez, who was appointed to the position of Constable 2 in the city of San Antonio. She has shared with me a lot of important information that she has made in that department. I'd like to share that with you today. Keep in mind that Leticia is a Memorial High School alumni. She graduated in 1977 and is a proud Minuteman.
Okay, so yes, I grew up right there off of Culebra and Tesla. I went to Loma Park Elementary, then went to Truman, went to Memorial High School where I was in the band. Graduated in 1977.
Okay, and then tell me a little bit about your high school days.
So in the high school, I was blessed to be in the band and be part of that group. It was actually, and that's when I realized when I was in high school, when we were going out of town on our field trips and stuff, the band, the football games and stuff, that I remember seeing a police officer in Del Rio. And when I saw him, I knew that I wanted to be a police officer.
Wow. And so, what drew you to that idea?
I don't know. It was just something that even when I was in junior high, I knew that it was just something about the uniform and the difference that they would make, that I wanted to be part of that. I wanted to be part of making a difference in the community.
So right now you're the Constable of Precinct 2.
Yes.
And prior to that, you were
so
where?
Prior to that, like I said, I always knew that I wanted to get into law enforcement. Right out of high school, I started working at the Tower of Americas, and I got pregnant, and I realized, well, I started my family. Then from there, I worked at Kroger's grocery store, where I was a customer service manager, and I was there for 10 years.
Was that the one on Woodlawn?
Well, I worked at different ones. I worked at the one on Marbach, the one on San Pedro, and the one on Walza, and Northwest Military also.
You were all over.
I was all over in those 10 years.
Uh-huh.
So, when they closed down, they wanted all the managers, because I was a customer service manager. So I've been working with the community for many, many years. Mm-hmm. They wanted me to go back, to follow them back to Houston. And at that time, I was a single mom with my 3 girls, and I said, you know what, I can't do that. So that was my chance to change careers, and I did. I went ahead, I had my 3 daughters. Even though they were little, I decided, you know what, this is my chance to follow my dream, which was law enforcement. So I joined I went to SAC and got my police officer certification, and got hired on with Greer County Sheriff's Office. I was there for 25 years, and then when all this stuff happened with the Precinct 2, I was one of the ones that put an application, and out of the 29 applications, I got that position.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
And so tell me, what has changed in the department?
So once I took it over, yes, it was there was a lot of controversy in that office already. They were looking down at that office because of everything that had been going on. I knew that I needed to go in there and get the ground running. I took 2 officers with me. One was a prior sergeant of mine, and another one was a colleague that I've known for many, many, many years. I took them with me from the sheriff's office, and together they became my chief, which is Leo Warden, and my deputy chief, which is Luan Du. And we turned things around. We were able to pay payments that weren't paid, the backlog of payments that were being overlooked or weren't being paid, the backlog of paperwork, civil paperwork. They had stacks of it that weren't getting done in a timely manner. And a lot of that paperwork there is time sensitive. If you don't serve it in time, somebody walked up to the window and paid money, and if it's not served at a certain time, it's like pouring that money down the drain. So we need to make sure that we were serving the community as the constable's office should be. That office is mainly to do civil processing, not anything else.
Okay.
And to serve and be secure and have the judge secure. We need to make sure that he was secure in his the building, his courtroom, and of course the judge. So, and then since then, well, we had literally cleaned a lot of the office because there was a lot of, clutter, which is other way to put it. So we got rid of a lot of stuff that belonged to the county. If it was broken, we had them pick it up. Stuff that we didn't need, we got rid of.
Was that a new office that you all were now taking over, or had they not moved recently, or?
No, I think they've been there since, I want to say,
Wow.
the 80s.
Wow.
I think.
Okay.
It used to be an old Kmart. So they had been there for a while.
Okay.
So we cleaned, organized a lot of stuff, organized files. A lot of the employees, their files were, things were everywhere. So we got that ordered. We're now in compliance with TCOL, which is the one that kind of monitors law enforcement.
Okay.
That TCOL. We also got the certification, so now we can have classes there. We can do training there, not just for our officers, but for other local agencies if they want to come and take classes there. We got into the property room, and that had never been touched. It had been touched, but it wasn't touched by the previous administration. And we actually destroyed recently, which we're not done, but we recently just destroyed over $1.5 million worth of drugs that had been just sitting in there. Also, guns that were sitting in the file cabinet. They were no case numbers, no reports or anything with them. So we had those destroyed after we ran them and made sure that they weren't stolen, or if we could find the owner, we would return it to the rightful owner. But everything else, we destroyed those weapons. And we're not done yet. We're like 75% done with that property room, but we're not done yet. So those are things that we've done. So then COVID-19 hit. Everything shut down. Well, we kept going. We assisted the food bank, Meals on Wheels. We started doing the birthday parades, the graduation
You
parades.
all meaning the precinct 2?
My staff. So
Right.
there is 19 of
Right.
us. I have myself, I have a chief, a deputy chief, a captain, a lieutenant, 2 sergeants, 2 corporals, and then the rest are deputy constables. I'm still having to get used to, because I'm used to calling us just deputies.
Oh.
They're deputy constables. So
Okay.
we did that. I redirected them, and we would do the parades. Any of the buildings that were in precinct 2, they were doing patrol buys. When we were doing the Meals on Wheels, we were able to check on our seniors. So at that time, at that moment, they were working for Meals on Wheels, delivering the food, stepping back so that they could feel safe with the social distancing. But also, we found something wrong. The law enforcement officer in him would step in and say, okay, you know what, we need to get adult protective services involved. Or, we were checking them. So we were actually feeding them and doing a welfare check on all those seniors. And then we were helping Alicia Trevino Lopez Senior Center, because they were, so before all this happened, they were open. And the seniors could go in there and eat.
Right.
And take their food. Well, everything was shut down. So they've been nonstop getting the food from the food truck, but they still have to break it down, and then they distribute it to all the seniors to drive up twice a week. So we were helping them break up the truck and be out there, because it's a lot for those people that are working there.
And what area does precinct 2 cover?
It covers all the way like from Lotus, and it goes all through the medical center, through where the jail's at, all the way to Vazquez, Colorado. All that. It's like the boot of Italy. It's long. It's just long. Lebanon Memorial High School, all that is part of precinct 2.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just didn't know how it extended.
Yeah, it's a long, like I said, it's real long. All the other 3 precincts, they're a lot wider, but precinct 2 is more condensed with people. So.
Okay. So tell me about your, I know you're running for, is it re-election or is?
Actually, I was appointed.
Okay.
So I was appointed, and I was supposed
By?
to stay there by Nelson Wolf, Justin Rodriguez, Chico Rodriguez, and Kevin Wolf. That day that we went in there, out of the 29 applicants, 5 of us were chosen, and they chose somebody right then and there. So the process was that they didn't want the person that applied to run. But after being in the office and seeing everything that was going on, and actually some of the candidates that were running, I knew, and actually getting to know those officers who were there and everything that they went through, and also being pushed by a lot of people.
Do you now feel that, obviously, it's made a big difference for you? Did I hear correctly that you had retired?
I was going to retire December. That was the goal.
2019.
2019.
Okay.
I was going to retire then. But the application that I put in was October, or the end of September.
Oh.
Yeah. So then that changed. That changed everything. Like I said, if I had a crystal ball, and I knew this was gonna happen, I don't know. I mean, I've been blessed. Oh, no regrets at all. For me to make a difference in that office, for me to hear. So, as far as the people that give me feedback or anything, the fact that they haven't been calling me or telling me anything negative means I'm doing a good job. For the DA to stop me and get out of his Tahoe and come and say hello, that's all he has to say. I know that I'm doing a good job. You know, they appointed me to go in there and straighten things out and clean that office, and I'm doing that. I'm not going to let them down, and I'm not going to let the community down. So I'm hoping that my doors are open. They can come in at any time. You can come in at any time and come meet my staff, so you can see and hear how good they are too.
I wish I would have known you I wish I would have gotten to know you a little bit better back when the first time we met, because I remember asking Sheriff. Yes, I asked him if I could take a picture of all the alumni of Edgewood, because I know that they're everywhere.
Yes.
And he said, yeah, sure. So I managed to get about 5. And I know there were a lot more.
Oh, yes.
And I wish that I would have been able to communicate with you, and probably we could have gotten more of them.
So that's what I was reminding you a little while ago. The first time that you and I met, you wanted to interview me because I was from Memorial, and I was working as a deputy sheriff with the sheriff's office. And you were excited just with that. So then, again, if we would have seen the crystal ball, you could have followed me all through this process. Because this has been very exciting, and I'm very blessed to be in the position that I'm in right now. And that's all I'm trying to do is now I'm trying to be elected. I'm running against one more. Out of 11 of us, the top 2 are in the runoff.
Might do that, yeah.
So.
Tell me something positive I can relay to the students.
Okay, so back when I was a senior in 1977, this young man walked in his suit by the name of Henry Cisneros. And he stood on that stage and he talked to us about being Mexicanos and making a difference in our community and staying on the right track and being a positive role model. And here I am. I listened to what he said. I remember what he said. He would probably not even know who I am, but that speech that he made an impact. And now I'm trying to make that impact, especially being Latina, Mexicana, female. The sky's the limit. For the past 26 years now, I've been working in a man's world, and they have treated me equal because because I treated them equal too. You know, we had worked together, and they knew that I had their back and they had mine. So it was never about I'm a girl, you're a boy. We were officers wearing a patch and a badge, and that's what makes us the blue family.
Well, you know, I admire you. It's amazing to see women in these roles, and it's more amazing for me when one of our own is selected for a role. Okay. Well, thank you, Leticia. I really appreciate it. I hope you don't mind me calling you Leticia. Alumni to alumni.
Yes.
And
yes, Yvonne, you can call me Leticia.
Thank you, and I appreciate you coming here.
I appreciate you. Thank you for staying adamant about. You never gave up on me.
Oh.
You found me, you tracked me down, and here I am.
Yes.
So thank you for being.
Yes, thank you.
And determined to get a hold of me.